Using a dishwasher is just being lazy, you know? You have other tools around the house for slacking off, do you? Hurry up and show them to me. I'll get rid of them for you.
My mother-in-law said, and started destroying all the appliances that she assumed that I had bought to be lazy, such as a cleaning robot and a washing machine. I'm Fiona, and I'm 30 years old. I live with my husband Cole, and our 3-year-old son Juan. A few years ago, we underwent infertility treatment. Both my husband and I loved children dearly, and were eagerly awaiting the day when we could have a baby. After overcoming numerous difficulties, we succeeded in the infertility treatment. When we conceived our first child, indescribable emotions overwhelmed us. 3 years have passed since our child was born, and now I work from home. I utilize cleaning robots to manage household chores while working. My husband works in sales at a pharmaceutical company, and since we both work and we are busy with various tasks, including taking our son to a daycare, we decided to use the cleaning robot in order to reduce the burden of housework. Thanks to this, we've managed to avoid arguments over housework. I'm grateful for the cleaning robot. However, I have a big concern. That is my mother-in-law. She visits our house almost every day, rummages through the fridge without permission to check if there's anything tasty, and stays for hours, calling me whenever she needs me. When Cole is around, he handles her, sparing me from dealing with her as much as possible. But that's only when Cole is home. One day not too long ago, my mother-in-law came over. Unfortunately, Cole was at work, leaving just my mother-in-law and me alone in the house. I was swamped with work and wanted to prioritize it, but my mother-in-law excitedly talked about neighborhood gossip. I had to listen to her for hours. As a result, I had to rush through my work afterward, and I was exhausted. There is another aspect that troubles me about my mother-in-law, that she despises machines.
Fiona, are you using this kind of gadget again? Sweeping the room with a broom is more effective for cleaning than using such robot.
My mother-in-law would scold me, comparing the household chores I do with those she used to do herself.
Fiona, I've never once thought of wanting to do household chores as effortlessly as you do. Can you really create a comfortable environment for Cole by doing such loveless cleaning and laundry?
When my mother-in-law started preaching like this, it reduced my work time, causing me significant inconvenience. Then, one sunny day, I had a plan to go to a nearby electronics store with my husband and son. As we were leaving the house, my mother-in-law stopped us.
Oh, Mom, don't come with us. We plan to go out just the 3 of us today. We plan to go out just the 3 of us today. Oh, Mom, don't come with us. We plan to go out just the 3 of us today.
My husband said with a displeased expression.
Oh, I was just thinking about going shopping too. Can't you take me along? By the way, what are you planning to buy today?
My mother-in-law asked us, so I continued the conversation.
We're going to the electronics store to buy a dishwasher. Lately, I'm getting busier with work and washing dishes has become a hassle. A dishwasher?
My mother-in-law suddenly had a dark expression and muttered.
The latest dishwashers are incredible. They not only dry the dishes, but also disinfect them. You'd want to try using it too, wouldn't you, Mom?
My husband said. My mother-in-law angrily started shouting at me.
Fiona, you're already cutting corners so much with household chores, and now you're thinking of slacking off even more.
Certainly those things are making the housework easier. But I've never tried to slack off.
What on earth are you thinking?
I'm just thinking of buying it to help me do my housework more efficiently when I'm busy with work. I honestly told my mother-in-law what I was thinking.
That's the sign of a slacker. You are working at home, so you should at least balance your housework with your work. If you're a housewife, it only makes sense to do that.
But Cole and I discussed this and made the decision.
When I said that,
My son is kind, you know? That's why he doesn't complain. He must be truly troubled. When I was young, I was told that only by struggling could I become a full-fledged housewife. Anyway, there's no need for you to go to an electronics store. I'm against the idea of you buying a dishwasher.
blocking us from leaving the house. Seeing this, my son asked, "Aren't we going to the electronics store?" Before I could answer, my mother-in-law said,
Sorry, Mom and Dad, we're trying to buy unnecessary things, so we don't need to go to the electronics store anymore. Instead, I'll take you somewhere fun another time.
Since my mother-in-law is very indulgent toward my son, I was about to lose myself in anger, but I managed to keep myself composed somehow. With this, we didn't get a dishwasher, and I tried to wash the dishes by hands as usual. However, after all, I didn't have time to wash the dishes, and I decided that it was not very hygienic, so after talking to my husband, without telling my mother-in-law, we purchased a dishwasher online a few days later. However, if my mother-in-law found out about it, it would be troublesome, so we waited for a time when she wasn't around to install the dishwasher. For a while after purchasing the dishwasher, I used it in secret to prevent my mother-in-law from finding out, so she didn't even seem to have noticed that there was a dishwasher in the house. I thought I could keep things this way, but an unexpected incident occurred. One day, about 2 months after buying the dishwasher, my mother-in-law came to the kitchen and began looking around.
Oh, it's already lunchtime. I'm getting hungry. Is there something to eat?
Emma, I'll prepare something for you, so please wait in the living room.
I replied, but my mother-in-law began rummaging through the fridge. Without thinking, I took a dish out of the dishwasher. In that moment, I couldn't help but mutter to myself, I messed up, but it was already too late. My mother-in-law didn't miss a moment of it.
Fiona, what is this?
Well, it's a dishwasher.
As I replied, my mother-in-law mumbled while looking down. Why is something like this in this house? This happened when she took a knife out from under the sink, likely to cut the apple pie she found in the fridge. I looked at my mother-in-law, who was holding a knife while looking down, and thought I shouldn't provoke her now, so I became cautious. Then my mother-in-law said, "Why did you buy something like this?" She muttered softly,
I think I mentioned it before, but I bought it because I've been busy with work.
I spoke earnestly, trying not to agitate her. In that moment, my mother-in-law put down the knife and shouted in anger, "It's fucking clear that this is just for slacking off." She picked up the dishwasher with both hands and slammed it on the floor. The dishwasher broke with a loud noise. In her raged state, my mother-in-law continued, "There are still more tools for slacking off in this house, aren't there? Hurry up and show them to me. I'll get rid of them for you." Saying that, she started destroying all the appliances that she assumed that I had bought to be lazy, such as a cleaning robot and a washing machine. Our home quickly turned into a mess. After destroying everything, my mother-in-law made a call. A few minutes later, people from a recycling company arrived in front of our house.
I'm going to ask them to take away everything here that's used for slacking off. Fiona, I'll have you rethink how to do your housework.
Please stop this. First of all, these aren't tools for slacking off. We bought everything in this house after Cole and I discussed. Could you please leave?
I said to the people from the recycling company.
Hurry up and start doing housework. Cole will be back soon. I'm sure Cole will get fed up and say he's going to leave this house when he sees the mess in the room like this. My words didn't reach my mother-in-law or the workers.
Our house was emptied bit by the workers who wouldn't listen to me. As I was trying to talk to the workers, my mother-in-law brought something and tried to hand it to them. The moment I saw it, my face turned pale all at once.
Please don't.
The item my mother-in-law handed to the workers was a stuffed dog I've treasured.
Give me back my mochi.
My husband Cole had bought it for me when I was undergoing infertility treatment. People often say that if you have a dog, you won't have children, but my husband and I didn't really believe in such superstitions. Of course, it was not a real dog, so I accepted it without hesitation. I feel that I was able to get through the infertility treatment thanks to that stuffed dog. In a sense, it's like my partner. There was no way I could just sit back and let my precious stuffed dog be sold off so easily with a straight face.
Have you really given a name to this stuffed dog and played with it? You must have had so much free time to have played with something like this.
Excuse me, please take this too. This is a treasure for me. You can sell other things, but please don't sell this stuffed dog. Please, I beg you, don't sell mochi.
When I said pleadingly, my mother-in-law chuckled and said, "Fiona, it was so difficult for you to get pregnant. Maybe because you were playing with something like this. In fact, you got pregnant after I started pointing out things to you." I waited so long to see my grandchild's face. "I'm pretty sure that you got pregnant because I stopped you from being lazy, even if it was a little bit. So let's get rid of everything, and good things will happen to you, my son, and me. My mother-in-law rambled with inexplicable logic and handed Mochi to the worker. Mochi was placed on the truck, and in no time, it was taken away. When I went back to the room, it looked so empty. I didn't want to think about anything in this room where there was no Mochi. However, my mother-in-law continued to shout at me relentlessly.
Fiona, what are you doing standing there in a daze? Start doing housework quickly. You're a slacker after all.
My mother-in-law grabbed my arm and dragged me into the room.
Look, start with cleaning the floor. It's covered in dust. Being lazy is like a sickness, you know? You have to force yourself to do something to fix it. It's like a sickness. You know, you have to force yourself to do something to fix it. Won't accept any slacking. You know what will happen if you slack off, don't you?
My mother-in-law said this to me, then she continued to shout incessantly.
It's dirty here too. What have you been doing all this time? This is why you can't rely on those machines. The best way to deal with dust is to sweep, and your laundry is full of stains. When I was young, I used soap to scrub the stained areas. There wasn't a single stain left. Also, start preparing dinner. Hurry up, or Cole will be back. If he comes home from work and the dinner is not ready, he'll be angry. You've been so lazy so far. Starting tomorrow, I'll train you anew. Be prepared. Lazy people like you, Fiona, can't do much. If you work hard, you might become half decent at best. So, you'll have to put in twice the effort of an average person when it comes to housework. Because you're Cole's wife, of course you can do it, right?
I was cleaning up the room in which my mother-in-law had made a mess, but she followed me around and kept giving me a lecture and ranting about things from the past, as if she was venting her pent-up frustrations. However, I could hardly understand anything she was saying, and I continued cleaning while feeling like crying.
Enzo,
Welcome home.
thank you for your hard work today.
My mother-in-law greeted Cole before me.
It's rare for you to come out. Did something happen?
I could tell from his voice that my husband was worried about me, and that was enough to make me cry.
Oh, Fiona hasn't finished her housework yet. Anyway, something good happened today. Let's go out to eat something delicious with this tonight. What should we eat?
I'm okay with it, but have you told Fiona yet?
As my husband said that, my mother-in-law immediately replied.
She can't come because she hasn't finished her housework yet.
Let's go out, just the two of us.
Saying that, Cole entered the room. When I looked at his face, he was turning pale. Most of the home appliances were gone, and the room was in disarray, amidst that I was cleaning, while crying alone. I wonder what Cole had thought when he saw me like that. Fiona, what's going on? Are you planning to have your husband help with housework? That's unacceptable.
Housework? That's unacceptable. Cole, let's go out, leaving her here?
When my mother-in-law said that, my husband asked, Mom, what's this all about?
I'm just retraining Fiona from scratch because she is so lazy. I sold all the home appliances in the house to give her a wake-up call. You've been too nice to her, so she has been taking advantage of the situation. It's your fault too, Cole. You don't know what happens when you spoil a woman.
As my mother-in-law responded to my husband like that, he asked as if he remembered something.
Oh, where's Machi? Where did Machi go?
I was going to tell him what happened to Machi, but tears welled up, and I couldn't say anything. How pathetic, crying over a stuffed dog like that.
Cole, you should tell her too. Quickly, forget about the stuffed dog like that and focus on housework.
What did you do with the home appliances in Mashi, Mom?
My husband, looking down, asked my mother-in-law.
I sold them to a recycling company so that Fiona doesn't slack off anymore. I was able to sell the stuffed dog for a good price. Oh, I'm so happy that we sold them.
The moment after my mother-in-law said that, my husband suddenly shouted, "Get out of this house right now and never come back." It was a voice I had never heard from Cole, who is usually calm.
I admit that it wasn't right for me to have sold various things without telling you, Cole. But you don't have to be so angry.
No, that's not it, Mom. I'm not angry about that. I bought the stuffed dog for Fiona, yet you went ahead and sold our treasure without permission. I can't believe it.
When my husband said this to my mother-in-law, she retaliated again.
Cole, you've changed. You've never talked back to me like this before. Are you going to be mean to me too? I'm sure that Fiona is making you become like this. Fiona, I'll be training you every day from now on. Look forward to it.
From that day on, my mother-in-law would come over to our house as soon as Cole went to work. When I was doing housework and if my mother-in-law thought that I was cutting corners even a little bit, she would make me redo it. Such hellish days had begun. As the days went by, I struggled to balance work and household chores, and eventually I collapsed. I had a fever, my body was limp, and I couldn't move as much as I wanted to. Seeing me like that, my mother-in-law uttered unbelievable words.
Fiona, how pathetic. You have no determination or physicality. You have no determination or physical strength. I could rest easily.
Cole came home. Housework, too. Cole approached me. But at that moment, consciousness.
Fiona, are you awake?
Mom, wake up. Up, I found myself lying on a hospital bed.
I'm glad you woke up. I'm sorry, I couldn't be of any help.
I'm sorry for being such an incapable wife.
It's not true. You are doing your best. Working hard on the housework, taking care of our child, and looking after Mom and me, when you have a job.
When my mother-in-law suddenly started talking about me.
Cole, you've got yourself a strange wife.
What you're saying and doing isn't normal.
Said, and my mother-in-law started shouting in anger.
That's not how you talk to your parents. It's you who's strange, Cole. Fiona's manipulated you. Poor you. Divorce her quickly and find a respectable wife.
We are in a hospital. Please keep it down.
In a hospital.
I got scolded. You probably fainted on purpose because you didn't want to do housework. Now get ready to go home.
Mom, stop it. It's enough. I'm sorry for causing you so much worry. Fiona, we're going home. I'm sorry for causing you so much worry. Leave the rest to me and take your time to rest.
He said that and left the hospital with my mother-in-law before returning home. My steps were very heavy on the way home from the hospital. It was depressing to think that when I returned home, those days would start all over again. When I returned home, those days would start all over again. However, something surprising awaited me when I got home. To my surprise, the appliances I thought we had sold were back. The robot vacuum, the washing machine, and even the dishwasher that my mother-in-law had broken were all back to their original places, and I couldn't even speak.
Welcome back, Fiona. Sorry for not picking you up. I had something to do.
When Cole told me about what had happened while I was hospitalized, my mother-in-law had bad-mouthed me in the car. Apparently, on the way back from the hospital, my mother-in-law had bad-mouthed me in the car and smashed the facial massagers and hair dryers that my mother-in-law had treasured with a hammer. My mother-in-law had treasured with a hammer.
I'm gonna make you experience the same feelings as Fiona did.
Stop, I won't do anything anymore. Please don't destroy them.
However, Cole didn't stop and started hammering her stuff. He also contacted the recycling company and sold various things of hers. However, that wasn't the only surprise.
Fiona, open the cardboard box.
He told me, and when I opened it, there was Machi inside.
Why? Kang? Machi, I missed you.
I searched through all the recycling shops one by one, and then I found it. I'm so happy to see Machi again.
I was also very happy. Then my mother-in-law called me.
Fiona, I'm sorry. I did something bad? I can't believe that Cole, who is usually very quiet, got so angry. I guess you're a good wife. I used to think machines were no good, but they're actually convenient when you use them. Cole made me try using the dishwasher. It's faster and cleans better than washing by hand. I've changed my view on machines. Can I use the appliances in your house?
Maybe not because I'm busy with work.
To prevent further trouble, I decided to keep my distance from my mother-in-law. As I looked at Machi, I vowed to myself that I would never, under any circumstances, want to be the kind of person who would so easily destroy something filled with people's thoughts and feelings.